You ever heard this? Yeah.
I watch Mom.
Oh, sorry. Can't tell if it's just because of the shadow or if my beard's actually getting longer again. Starting to look a little scruffy, you know?
It's in the mid stage.
It's in the mid stage.
Not quite useful yet.
It's in that ugly stage I went through for like 20 years, you know? Fuck. Welcome. I'm happy that you finally came in.
Well, thanks for having me.
This is my sister, Seazon Jessup. I think I've talked a little bit about how funny people are going to react when they find out that all my siblings look nothing like me.
Yeah.
Because they see Dustin and they're like, what the fuck?
Many times was I adopted.
He keeps bringing in this cholo-looking motherfucker, and he says it's his brother. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Rainbow Tribe.
Rainbow Tribe.
Mom always wanted a Rainbow Tribe.
Did you say that you were adopted?
That's what people always ask.
They ask if you were adopted?
Always. They'd see you and be like, "Are you adopted?" Like,
No. Look at the white. The white one's adopted.
yeah. Well, you're the one who had the dad, you know.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That-
3 white people and the brown kid walks in. You know.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And I'd be like, I was here first. You know, he came along.
He's fucking smaller than me. This is bullshit.
Well, not for long. You know, you're.
Yeah.
What were you, like 9 when you were taller than I was?
Fuck. Well, at least I didn't turn out like some of the other siblings in this distant family. There's some motherfucking.
Hey, you know, teach their own.
I guess.
Everybody has a life path, and you know, you get what you get, you know, and you make the best out of it.
I want so bad to name dump, but we're not gonna go down that road.
Well, you know, another day.
Another day.
The intro, you know, let's get people to like me and know that, you know, I'm cool. And,
People are gonna love you, and I have so much good stuff to say.
and I'm just real, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, what do they say? I have a heart of an angel, mouth like a sailor, and I can't help it. It is what it is. Get that from Grandma.
Grandma Bernice.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that's my mouth of a sailor. My nana would. She was not a.
I hear Grandma Bernice in my head, and the only thing, honest to God, the only thing I remember is, God damn it, Bandy.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. So I tell Dustin that every morning when he says the cat does that pouncy thing on him.
Yeah.
And I tell him, "Are you like, God damn it, Bandy?
Yep.
Shut the fuck up, Bandy."
Shut the fuck up, Bandy.
Put Bandy on a leash, and you know Bandy would roam the front yard on that leash.
Yeah. That's all I remember about Grandma.
He had freedom, but not too much.
But just a little bit. Just a taste.
Free range kitty.
Grass-fed kitty. Oh, this is great. I'm super excited you came in. Get to have some margaritas on a Friday night.
Heck yeah.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
And I'm excited to hear your input on some of the stuff. And also, I wanted to first, before we get into too much shit, I wanted to put you, you know, a little bit higher here and talk about some of your accomplishments.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah. I try to help out as much as I can with it, but you've spent the last, for me, it feels like 10 years putting yourself on this high-end real estate list.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's high-end, but, you know,
Fuck,
I'm trying here.
I love some of the shit that you post, especially recently, some of the stuff that you've been posting. Like, you'll post something like I saw something about an infinity pool.
Oh, yeah, those quick little market things.
Yeah, you got my attention.
Well, hey, that's awesome.
I'm like, well, I want one. And all I have to do is call her?
Like, how about these kitchen cabinets? Call me.
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I mean, I don't have that one, but, you know, we always have something.
Yeah. It's fucking perfect. Everything's progressing.
Yeah.
Seems that way.
Market's getting better.
Yeah. You've been...
It's hard to compete, you know, with some of those other people, you know, that are like, you know, we give our services away for free.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know. Everything comes at a cost, you know.
You've been putting foot to ass for so long. It's been, if I'm being cheesy, it's been kind of a good influence, you know? You know, I've been watching from the distance, just... like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing, but she's just doing it.
Just gotta run my race, you know?
You started off with a company, and without anything bad happening, you know, you just blended into your own thing and started your own LLC, and now, with the help of, you know, your husband, things have turned into staying green realty.
Yeah, it was actually, just amazing.
Yeah.
Always a pipe dream. And, I think I actually, I guess, manifested that years ago when I purchased the LLC and just let it sit there for, 9 years, 10 years, just let it sit there.
Whew.
And paid on it, made sure it, kept my LLC up, and didn't know what I was going to do with it, didn't know why I wanted it. Just had it. It wasn't even a real estate. I just had staying green.
I think I remember that.
That one day, I don't know, I was just in a meeting and decided, oh my goodness. Actually, I don't think I decided. I think that someone else decided. I think I just kind of, that day, just heard a whisper and was like, don't ever come back to this office. You got this. If you can do it for them and pay them, like you can pay yourself. Mm-hmm. So it was scary, and but I did it.
It's really the amazing thing about, having your own wants and dreams and expectations for yourself is if you're leaning on yourself hard enough to get something done that you want to get done, then you will get it done.
Yeah.
And you've always had you've always definitely had this mentality where you could do anything that you wanted to.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter what it is. It was always there's always a way to do it, and then if Seazon wanted a better way to do it, then Seazon was going to do the better fucking way.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
My grandpa, Grandpa Jim,
mm-hmm.
he used to always say, when I was little, he'd ask, where do you want to go to eat? And Grandma Bernice would say, well, I don't know. And he'd say, well, ask Booney, because if Booney doesn't know it, it ain't worth knowing. And I was little, and it was just always a big joke. So, sometimes, I still do that to Dustin because he remembers, some of those things, the grandpa-isms or Bernice-isms from when we were kids,
Yeah.
So I'll say, well, I don't know. So if it ain't worth, if I don't know it, it ain't worth knowing,
I love that.
And sometimes, in life, ignorance is bliss,
Yeah.
I have people that I love, dearly love, but, we're not friends on any social media because I like you. And, sometimes you get to see someone on social media and you decide, well, hell, maybe I don't like them, or this isn't the person that I hang out with, it's a shame that this is who they are.
Yeah.
In the world. If they could just be the person that I see, then,
It's a really shitty realization to have when shit like that happens. I feel like, in just hearing you say that, in that regard, you kind of have a big heart. And I can relate to that. I do too. My immediate thought with 90% of people that come into my life is I want to love and I want to be a part of this presence that's now a part of my life. And then when you see shit like that, and you kind of overabsorb who you thought they were,
right? And
then you see shit on social media, like you said, and then you're like, oh, come on.
Or
don't fucking ruin this for me.
Or you're kind of like, oh, you're better than that. Or
yeah. That's super. Yeah, that's accurate.
I don't know. I just, sometimes I just want to love you, and I mean, I love, if I'm the first people, if you were homeless, if you called tomorrow and was like, sis, I'd move in, we'll clear a space, we'll make an addition, I'll turn the living room into 4 different bedrooms. Watch me do it.
Yep.
You've seen me do it. Homeless people, I'm not gonna give them money. Okay. There are exceptions to every rule. Remember that, exceptions to every rule.
Yeah.
Not everything is, black and white. If I pull up to a light and you're doing a jig, you could be doing a jig. You could be singing. You could be dancing about with your little sign. You could be playing a guitar. I'm going to give you a couple bucks, because you worked for it.
Right.
If I pull up in your cart, your walker, your cane, the tree, something's holding your sign for you, I'm already like, did you know that,
yeah,
you can get a job up here? I mean, everyone's hiring,
If you can't do the bare minimum,
I mean, there's sign spinners all the time. If you could just hold that sign, guarantee you can get a job. Just hold the sign. I mean, so I give to homeless people, we used to make homeless bags. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
And I'd make everybody keep a homeless bag in their car, and you'd see a homeless person have a backpack, with snacks and, tuna packets and waters and, But, sometimes the kids would get mad because, homeless people are picky.
I've had water bottles thrown at me.
Well, like
So yeah.
we, were passing out cheeseburgers one day, just like for Christmas. Like it was like Christmas Eve or something, and we went and bought 100 cheeseburgers, and we were passing out cheeseburgers inside of a beanie, with gloves and a water and stuff. And Devlin handed the homeless man on the corner the beanie, and he opened it up, and he was like, you guys got any fish or maybe like a chicken sandwich instead? And Devlin was probably like 13, 14, and he was just like, whole mind change about homeless people. He was like, how can, if you're starving, your sign says starving, but you fish or chicken? He was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, picky. And before I give to you, I check out your shoes.
Yeah.
I'm checking out your attire before I'm just handing out some help,
That's interesting. You kind of put it that way, because it dabbles into a little bit what we were talking about right before we started. Was like, if the situation is really that dire, then is this really a you thing, or is this something that you're just being lazy about? And it's fucked up to have to pull that apart, but you definitely, growing up, the one thing I did learn is that you do have to kind of dictate on your own thoughts and make sure that you're not just giving yourself away all the time for people who don't deserve it.
Right.
It's fucking something. It's a hard lesson to learn every time.
Every time.
And every time it happens, you're like, fuck, I should have seen that coming.
And you put a wall up, me and my walls, I love walls.
Yeah. Yeah. You're getting better about them as you get older, I'll tell you that. Maybe it's just me and you, but feels like things are getting better.
Yeah, it's true. As you get older, you see things in a different light, But, I have walls back in the day, like, not like, see through those, like, fences in Sun City with the slats through them, like the chain link fence with the white slats,
Yeah.
like I had full on 17-foot brick walls with, like a 2-foot chain link top and then some barbed wire around the top. And
big block walls, beautiful walls.
And, you were special if I let you in.
Right.
Like, and even if I let you in, it didn't mean that I liked you. It meant that I was going to tolerate you for, the time in which...
I'm going to tolerate it until you fuck it up.
Right. Or I'm going to tolerate it for the moment that I have to spend with you, whether it be a family function, just whatever I have to be in odd space with you.
Yeah.
I was raised to, you're the bigger person, in some situations. And, so I had those walls, and I've been putting my walls down. I have boundaries now.
Mm-hmm.
Better. Boundaries are better.
Yeah.
I've learned not to take the bait. I'm working on not taking the bait. Back in the day, people would say things, and I was quick to jump in. Now I kind of let you, dig your own grave one shovel at a time, and I sit back and watch, and
I think I see what you're saying.
And I let you show me who you are. Before I would make excuses and want to fix and let me help. And
oh, yeah.
And now
now I understand what you're saying.
And now I sit back and I watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of replay some of those moments, like, because I feel guilty. I mean, I start feeling guilty, like, oh, maybe I should do this, or maybe I should do that, or send an FTD package, or, oh my gosh, maybe I should stop by. And then I realize, why? I made some boundaries, took the wall down. I'm progressing, but right. I realized that there's just relationships that sometimes you just wonder, like, how'd I get here, and why am I here, and why am I still, I don't know, I guess like the puppet, with the string, like, why am I still...
Right. Still playing into this shit.
Right.
The word that sticks out to me the most, and it's kind of just like a universal word for everything that you're explaining, is like having patience. Not my strong fucking point at all.
No, not since birth.
So being patient and sometimes, again, like you said, letting people kind of unveil who they are on their own, and it'll happen.
Oh yeah.
They'll fucking do it on their own, 100%.
Yeah, whatever you do in the dark comes
Especially
out in the light.
if you continue to make sure that you're guarded for at least a moment, then their quote unquote insecurity will let them just unveil themselves on its own. And having the same instincts that you do, I always want to be the first to be like, well, let's figure it out. You know, how can we help and blah 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 and this and that. And having the patience to kind of let that sit for a couple of days sometimes. The problem will solve itself more often than not. Mm-hmm. Or if you let the people panic and think about shit on their own, and sometimes it solves itself.
I've really been fond of not my problem. You know,
it's been a hard speed bump for me, but I like it.
It's just not my problem. I can only control my circus.
Right. That's fucked up. That's the one thing I always say is not my circus.
And you know that magnet's on my fridge, you know. Mm-hmm. Not my monkeys, not my circus, but, you know, I can only control my circus, you know, my tiny little army that I've created, you know. And even then, you know, it's not really controlling, it's
like managing.
It's like managing and, you know, just making sure that, you know, as I get older, you know, I guess I'm just too old for this shit.
Right.
You know, I'm too old for the, you know, when someone says, hey, you want to go to dinner? So I've decided in life that if I do that when someone texts me, I'm just not available that day to do it. Yeah. Maybe another day, but apparently that day, I'm just not feeling you. Or
yeah. It's fair.
And back in the day, you know, I'd make an excuse. I'd be like, you know, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, you know, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, no, I can't do that. I'm in a meeting. And sometimes I'm in a meeting and I'm really just doing yoga. But it's a meeting because I've scheduled it with myself. And scheduling me time is very important. So if I have to be in a meeting if I have to tell my brain that I'm in a meeting to do yoga or whatever it takes, then I got to psych myself out.
This kind of stuff is, I've learned, is hugely pertinent to your own personal success. Not overloading yourself with, in the harshest of words, everybody else's problems. Yeah, it sucks to say it like that.
Well, we were raised that, you know how we were raised. We were raised in a save everyone, you know? It's
the only thing I've ever known.
We were saving everyone.
Yeah. And it's still, you know, when you have the available option to continue to do so, it's still difficult to say no.
It is.
And, you know, you've always had the option. You've always had the availability. You've never said no.
Oh, not to you.
To most people.
Sometimes saying no is hard for me. It is hard, but if I say no, it's because I've probably already done some kind of a bubble sheet, you know, and wrote out the pros and cons, and the emotion in it, and, you know, talk myself down like, it's good, it's okay, and, you know, because, you know, I was raised to be a pleaser, you know, I was that third in line, you know.
Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking about earlier.
I just pleased.
Being the other middle child.
Yeah.
Probably got shit on pretty often.
Yeah.
Shit on or forgotten about.
Yeah. But, you know, I was just a pleaser, you know, that's who I was.
Do this and do that.
And smile about it.
And you were dealing with my dumb ass most of the time.
Man. Well, sometimes you were a savior, you know. You got me out of a lot of shit, you know. I would,
Good.
Well, you just know that, you know, people would be like, hey, let's go do this, you know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know, my mom just had the baby, you know, we have to be home for the baby. So, you know, in some aspects, it saved my ass, you know. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I didn't even have to babysit, but that was, you know, I didn't want to go and cruise Metro Center, you know, or...
Yeah.
And so you were my out. It was great.
That's an interesting outlook you got there.
Right.
I would have never connected those dots. Spent a lifetime of feeling bad.
No. I mean, hey, you know, I don't know. It's weird when you're... Okay, it's just weird when you were in our situation growing up, and then, you know, that happens. We just had a lot of changes.
Yep.
And when you're, what was I, 12? Yeah, I was 12. I was in 6th grade. So I was 12. So it was just weird, you know, like You never expect at 12. Okay, so let's just, people are hating me. I don't need hate mail.
No.
We should have done a full disclaimer before I spoke. When you're 12, 35 is fucking old.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Like, old.
That makes sense to me.
I mean,
yeah,
old. And when Mom was like, you know, me and Mike are going to have a baby, I'm sure in her mind, life was great. That was wonderful. I mean, not to be an asshole. And we know that when you say not to be an asshole, I'm going to be an asshole.
In their shoes, I wouldn't have fucking done it.
I just think that at 35, if your lifelong dream was to have a baby, hell yeah, go for it. I think if your lifelong dream was to have a baby, at 50, do it. Mm-hmm. At 90, I mean, I'm just saying. You know,
yeah.
Things happen. We've all read the Bible.
For sake of being a parent.
I'm just saying, you know, at any point, if you wanted it, do it. This is so funny. I had this conversation earlier today with somebody all about adoption. So I just think that if that's your lifelong goal, that's great. I get it. Dad had never had children. So for him, it was, you know, his first son, glory, glory, hallelujah.
Yeah. Woo.
But on this end, it was like, and I'm pretty sure at that table, I'm sure Mom would tell you these were my words. Dustin, I mean, Linda French would tell you it was a whole situation. I'm pretty sure I got sent to my room because I was like, wow, at your age, you don't know how to have safe sex. Like, it's just disappointing, you know?
Right.
You just think so much more, you know? And she was upset and offended, and I get it on both ends.
Mm-hmm.
But on my end, you know, being 12, I've always had a whimsy with words.
Certain way with words.
So I'm sure it came out sarcastic and in that 12-year-old fashion.
Sure. I can see that.
And not to say that I wasn't meaning it in that fashion, because pretty much anything I said, I'd probably already thought about it a million ways in my head, like, you know, how was I going to say it? And that's probably the way that apparently our good Lord wanted me to say it that day. Straight and direct, because
that's your point across.
That's who I am, straight and direct. Mm-hmm. You know, no sugarcoating, no Willy Wonka-ness, no powdered donuts. I'm real. Like, just sometimes I hurt feelings. I don't mean to. I do apologize when I do that and try to rephrase that scenario. But you know, Mom was mad. Granted,
sure.
But I was 12, and we'd already gone through some changes that were significant and different. And
yeah. Well, not only that, but the living situation was...
Yeah, it was different.
Fucking not settled.
No, but, you know, like, we were always saving people.
Oh, so, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And, you know, Linda was in a bad situation, domestically. So we, you know, domestic violence was going on in that house. So we moved in because, you know, Dad was moving in, and with Mom there, he, you know... The husband couldn't live there, so he couldn't come to the house. So the domestic violence, it stopped, you know.
Right.
So great for her, win-win for us, because we got to move out of that apartment that was on Union. Let me think. What freeway? Dustin will remember what freeway it is. I don't remember what freeway.
Mom's pointed it out so many times that I want to say it's like Greenway in the 51.
No, this is in California. We lived.
Oh, I don't know shit. Never mind.
You were like. You were not even thought yet.
Right.
And we lived in this apartment, and it was like a really cool apartment. Funny. So next to that apartment was like old houses. And then on the other side of the apartment was old houses. Mm-hmm. Kind of like where I live now.
Yeah.
Kind of weird how...
Yeah. It's fucking played out that way.
And how I was just okay with it, because as soon as we saw it, I was like, oh, it's like living in L.A.
You're like, this feels good.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
I'm comfortable. Mm-hmm. Just like the helicopters in the sky, I'm comfortable. So we lived in these apartments that the front was a 2-story apartment, and then the middle was 2-bedroom like apartments above the parking.
Okay.
And the stairway was like all creepy and like concrete, and through the back it was creepy, like just like a rape haven, you know.
Rape haven. I'm using that.
And then we lived in the back house that was the 2-story, and ours had like a carport in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as where we had lived through the journey, sort of like the places we had lived, like on our own, not like in other people's homes or, you know, like with friends or family or, you know, those, but when like mom got our own apartment, you know, when it was just mom and Dustin and me and Brandon, it was cool. You know, it was 2-story, you know, it was like, had a yard, it was, you know, it was cool. It was fancy, you know?
Yeah.
And then, the freeway off-ramp was like, with our street.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
So, yeah, it was, so, but, we lived there, and then when your dad moved in, you know, it was a 2-bedroom apartment, so we had to get something bigger. So
right,
moving into that place, you know, with Linda, I had my own room.
You're like, score!
Caveat. So being the only girl did sometimes suck.
Yeah.
And sometimes it did have its perks.
Right.
Because, you know, there was nothing like, oh, well, there's only one, so I guess Booney gets it. Perks of being the only girl. You know, oh, I want to do that. That's not for girls. Yeah. Perks of not being a boy.
I won.
I mean, I guess back in the day, we could have had those words. I could have been like, I feel like a boy today, and then I would have got more.
Right. That's more these days. You know?
I feel like a princess.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like so many things back in the day.
Yep.
Man.
Damn.
I know. To be a kid today, we were just discussing how, you know, in life, we use Jensen as a milestone for a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
He's a fucking window into a world we don't know.
Well, me and Jensen, we have our own thing going on, you know. We break the rules when we're together because it's like I'm hanging out with Sage.
Yeah.
It just reminds me, like, I go all the way back to 13 or 14 or however we old, you know, and hang out with Jensen. But, you know, people say things like, well, no worries, they're like 8. And I tell them, Jensen's 8. And they'll say, wait, what? So you're telling me that it's okay for that kid to do it? Because, like, they're 8, dude.
Yeah.
And then they'll say, oh, shit, Jensen's 8? Oh, maybe they're not okay. So Jensen are a milestone for a lot of things. Because, you know, people tell me things about their kids, and I'll say, have you met my nephew Jensen? Yeah. Okay, you just told me you want your 5-year-old to express all these emotions. Did you just watch him play Minecraft?
There's a whole lot of shit that if he said to me, we'd have a whole lot of minced words to go through.
I said, so stop asking so much of your 5-year-old.
Right.
Just be 5.
Yeah.
Can we just be 5?
Just keep terrorizing things the way you do, and we're gonna
I just want to be 5 sometimes.
Oh, what I'd give.
What I'd give sometimes to be 5.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, we shouldn't say that. This could be some Fred Savage, what is that, Tom Hanks switcheroo shit going on a Friday night with margaritas.
Oof.
Ooh, if I woke up in your body tomorrow, the first thing I'm going to say to Jenny is, what the fuck? I'm so tall.
God damn it.
So tall. And white.
Yeah, how'd this happen? Why does my face itch?
I think we're probably about the same color.
Yeah.
I think I was darker when you were a kid.
I was going to say a tan.
I told everybody I was black all the time. It was really offensive. I want you to know. Not that I just...
I do remember that.
All the time.
I distinctly have this statement that runs through my head that says my sissy is black.
Right, and it's not even, like, offensive. It was just, like...
It's extremely untrue, for one.
Well, your friends would come and be like...
She's not black?
Yeah. Hey, your sister's not black. And I'd be like... Like, you set them up for this big lead-up to, like they like had dreadlocks, or, like, I was something cool. Like, oh, she's black. And then they get there, and I'm, like, this average brown girl.
I thought black people were cool.
I think I was just so
Look at all the people I played basketball with.
Dark in the summer. I used to be so dark in the summer.
I do remember. I tanned almost as bad as you.
I mean, even Dakari, you know, he'd always be like, who's darker every summer? And
I don't know.
And I used to win, and now I don't win.
I don't know if this is appropriate to bring up on here, but I just recently found something out.
What?
And it's not funny, so.
Oh, damn.
I know.
Hold on.
Well, I mean, I think it's true, so we can acknowledge it appropriately, but the Hardys that we grew up with.
The Hardys. Steve Hardy?
Yeah.
Okay. I know them.
Do you remember his kids? Stevie? I probably shouldn't fucking name drop. I'm sorry.
Basketball, sports.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you remember
The mom?
The oldest was a cheerleader
Mm-hmm.
for the Cardinals.
No, I did not know that.
That was a long time ago, but I think she passed.
Wow. Crazy.
Anyway, my condolences. If any of you are listening, I love you all. You all know me. If you guys listen, I have some of you on Facebook. Please feel free to reach out. I meant no disrespect. Confirm, please.
Yeah, somebody confirm.
I would love to have a completed thought here.
Yeah, we don't want that rumor floating around if it's not true.
Yeah. So.
That's crazy.
Anyway.
Hey, the older you get, the more people die.
Yeah,
so
it's
you know that.
super not fucking fun, by the way.
I think some are harder than others.
Yeah. Well, last year sucked. It was 4.
But I think that sometimes accidents are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people lead a lifestyle in which things happen, and I mean that's terrible. But it's almost like you've been watching, the slow motion picture, happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
it
sucks. Death just sucks.
There's people that you expect, which sounds really fucked up.
Oh yeah.
But there's people that you expect to get the news about, and others that you do not.
Right.
And at this point, at this juncture of this conversation, I would say that it's been the opposite for me.
Even crazier that when I tell you, my thoughts and prayers with you, my condolences to my brother,
right.
to you, and then someone we know mutually message underneath, how do you know this person? So we learned it was a very small world.
Yeah.
That, you don't even know that people know each other, and you're bumping into them at funerals, and you're like, how did you know this person? Small world.
Mm-hmm. It's a very small world, and that becomes oddly apparent in these moments.
And okay.
Oh God.
You expect older people, don't be hating on me. You just expect people of a certain age, like when they say, Aunt Lucy died.
Mm-hmm. You're like, well, that was coming.
And you're like, okay, well, she was 94.
Yeah, I mean, really, hopefully good for her.
Thank God for her. Yeah. Like, thank you that he finally showed himself and was like, let me help you. Like, Ted's been waiting for 20 years.
You ready to go yet?
I always feel bad when, when you do, talk to people and, like, that's who we are. We talk to people.
Right.
And for some reason, any grocery store, okay, they could be any store for some reason, although they always say, I know you don't work here, but I must look like the person that's like human directory. Like, they always want to know what aisle things are on, and then I get the story, Do
you
do you know where purses are? And I'm like, I'm doing what everybody else does, I don't work at Marshall's, but let's
fucking read the signs together. We're going to do this together.
Circling back to I can't say no.
Yeah.
Well, let's find it together. So now I'm searching for somebody I don't know, an older person, because most of my friends are, let's just say they're over 60 anyway. I don't know if that's okay, that's who I relate to. I don't know where I'm at.
No, I actually fuck with that quite a bit.
But most of my friends are over 60. But I end up talking to these older people and then, finding the purses. And on the way, I've known about their whole family and,
mm-hmm.
Johnny Joe and, his wife and their kids. And we start, and then it's like, should we swap numbers at this point? Are we friends? Like,
right. Do we just, are we fucking bonding?
And I'm like, I need to ride back to your car.
Right. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Let me help you. And then, yeah. Why can't I say no?
You've actually brought to light quite a few.
Why can't I say no?
Quite a few things that have made me realize just how much time we've actually spent together. For one,
not just sharing a bed.
Yeah, I do love New Kids on the Block.
Yeah,
admittedly so. No.
And the New Kids on the Block Barney mix in our room. It's
kind of fucked up, and if certain people listen to this might tingle a few nerves, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. But it is the fact of the matter is that through the most important stage of becoming an adult, you and Dustin probably did the most of the raising part of me. And
you were resistant. I tried.
And I didn't realize. Well, so you didn't have to try. It fucking sunk in, but it didn't occur to me how much of a presence your personality is also in me, as much as his is, and that's weird.
We did. We spent a lot of time
because we're all fucking siblings, and it's weird, but
and we probably get a lot from Mom too, like our mannerisms, you know.
I don't know.
Like we just together, we
Yeah.
just did that. I know that if we,
No.
Aaron pointed that out. We do that a lot.
Yeah.
And when we do something or say something we shouldn't, we all, I mean, you do it, my kids do it, we all go. We all do it.
I don't like that you pointed that out. Yeah, fuck.
Well, you know, like we had, you know, like you should, when you bring new people into the family, that you literally should have a 72 window to just have a seat with them and tell them everything you need them to know, because at a family function, you know, sometimes people make comments and then we make comments and then our significant others are like, what the fuck? And you're like, yes, we'll talk later.
Yeah, what just happened? I don't know. I'll get back to you.
But we all know, because as soon as it's said, your face says, oh, fuck, I didn't say that. And I'm like,
Shit. Well, this is awkward. At this point, it's kind of exciting.
You know, because you know how I am, you know, when me and my dude met.
Yep. Me and my dude.
We just kind of made a pact, you know. We're going to lay it all on the line, you know, first couple months, because if we're together for a year and then shit starts coming out, and that's like a long time to invest in somebody, even as young as we were, it was a lot to invest. So
especially at that time.
And not to be an asshole, but when you're 18, you don't really have much. I mean,
no.
You know, not like you, you know, in your 30s. That's a lot of baggage to unpack on one person.
Oh, dude. Dude.
I was like 18, so
yeah.
What was it like? I'm like, oh my gosh, this one time we got really drunk and did this, or this one time, you know, or hey, if so and so ever says, you know, I did this, our pact was deny, you know.
I got like 15 years of shit I don't remember about. You know, I'm like,
you know, so our packing was a lot easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even imagine to have to, you know. I mean, I can. It would just be so easy. But like, here's my resume of what happened in the last 40 some odd years.
Yeah.
Whatever you don't like in there, it's in the past. We're not bringing it into the present. Move on with it.
Like, one thing I bring to the table is experience, and I'll give you that.
Lots of experience and lots of different things.
Lots of different things. Jesus.
And sometimes, you know, like, I have those Romeo and Michelle moments, you know, where someone will ask me something, and for some reason I know the answer, you know, like how to make a Post-it, you know. Haven't you seen Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Can you sit with your broad and watch that? Oh my God, did I just call her your broad? Do not send me hate mail. We have a thing. It's a bedrock thing.
I've said much more offensive shit than broad on here.
I'm like, that's a bedrock term for us.
It's okay. Jenny, they love each other. It's fine.
We love you, Jenny. Okay, can you tell me Jenny's last name? Because all the different versions in which we're not going to mention names, it's been posted.
Yeah.
My favorite was the... See, I'm even blushing saying it.
Does it start with a C?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Thanks, Mom.
I was like, wait, did I add extra letters, or am I spelling it wrong?
That was probably an autocorrect.
So, Siri probably thought it was... I think Siri fucks with Mom sometimes. Mom tells it to say something, and she's...
Oh, yeah, for sure.
She's like, you know what? We could say her last name, but let's call her Jenny Wyckoff.
I'm like, do you read the shit that you post? I know you got a magnifying glass.
I think Siri's fucking with her.
It's Wysack, which is weird.
Wysack.
Because
change it to...
it's not Wycock.
Hey, I was like, well, now we know why she wants to be a Bogardus. I mean...
Right. Party time. Whoa.
Ooh, what is that? You have a message or someone chiming in?
It's Facebook.
They're like, hey, let's do some totally seasoned, and let me ask her a question and see if she'll be mean.
It's funny because that doesn't register on anything else. Just in our ears. Super annoying.
Super creepy. I thought I'd won the grand prize. I was going to get to spin the wheel.
No.
Thought Wayne Brady was gonna come out and be like, let's make a deal.
Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
God, I love that motherfucker.
Man, let's make a deal late night. Did you watch that the other night?
No.
They were gonna give away Austin Martin, like $300,000 Austin Martin.
Tell me you like those.
Yes.
Oh God, I'm obsessed with them.
Yes.
Okay.
Not as. You know what I saw the other day?
Mm-mm.
You know how much I love those raptors.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love that raptor.
God.
I saw a brand new raptor yesterday, but a 4x4 limited edition Shelby version of the raptor. I mean, what, an easy 200. I mean, the one I want, is like 94,000, 120 probably now.
Oh, it's
I should just ask Google while I was driving because
it's confusing for a consumer that's not. It's complicated. It's not technically a Raptor.
I just think that they put all these fancy stickers on the car.
Was it blue by chance?
No, it was gray.
It was gray?
It was like the good gray too, like the crab melted.
Yeah. I'm just trying to, because they made a Shelby F-150.
But it had all the pretty. It even had the Raptor, the grill plate like.
Oh yeah, it's fucking dressed up. It's beautiful.
It had I think it was a Shelby because they put stripes on it.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. See, I mean, this is like $150,000 truck.
So I know shit sometimes and don't even know I know shit.
It's very close to being a Raptor.
Like the glue for postage, like you raise the viscosity to a certain temperature and it emulsifies and makes the glue, and hey, you've got Post-its. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
It's like Legally Blonde. What were you doing? I was in the shower. I was in the shower. We know you were in the shower, but she couldn't have been in the shower with that perm. Because what is it, the thermal glycolate or whatever? You can't get in the shower with that. The perm won't set.
I haven't seen that in so long.
And I know that because that time, Mom did try to do some cool things as kids. I mean, Mom did some cool things. I mean, not all parents are perfect,
I don't remember half the shit.
I mean, even as awesome as I am, I'm freaking awesome. I'm not perfect. I'm sure I did some parenting mistakes that he's going to be in his 40s and be like, she did this to us. I don't even care. Like the time I told, well, we'll go. That's a story for another time.
Different podcast.
Different person. It'll be our discipline discussion.
Oh, okay.
Oh, whew. Okay, I lost track. Tell me where I'm at.
You went off on 9 different pages.
I know. That's what we do when we're together.
That's okay. You're getting comfortable. I like it.
Yeah.
So.
Where were we? Oh, Mom did some cool things when we moved here.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we moved here, we lived at 40th Street in Thunderbird. What do you got?
So I just realized there was a hat sitting next to you.
I don't know who that is.
It's supposed to be up there on the wall.
It's probably the ghost.
Perfect.
I forgot to bring my candle and sage. We should just light you on fire and you can dance around.
Maybe I'll do something good.
When we lived at 40th Street in Thunderbird, and we moved out here and moved in with your dad's mom, Grandma Helen,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure. I think that Rick and Moria lived at the Greenway, those apartments on Greenway and 32nd Street. Oh, those are Greenway Shadows.
I thought you were going to say the house.
And then, no, Terry lived there, Aunt Terry.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls, Michelle and Cassandra. Or maybe just Michelle lived there and Terry. Everybody was just always there. I can't remember who lived there with us.
You know more about all this than I do.
But we lived there for a long time, and I had to go to Desert Shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the only brown person other than an African-American kid that we ended up hanging out with. And a little white girl who wasn't good enough to hang out with, like, the preppy bitches. So, like, she was banished to the... You know how back in the day got banished to the ugly table, Like, you're to the table with the oddball table,
Yeah.
So, when I got there, I was an oddball because I was from LA, but, oh my God, I was brown. It, like, couldn't wrap their brain around it.
Really?
Yeah, they thought my dad was like Jose or somebody, like the landscaper. And
that seems strange.
And then when they saw Mom and Mike, that was a whole mind fuck.
Yeah, no, they're like, we really don't know how to do.
Because they didn't bring you that time. It was just they came for a conference, and I just had these two white parents, and Even Mr. Manilli, he was my music teacher. He was like, these are your parents. So Mom had to explain how, people get, divorced and married and remarried, and how odd is that?
Sex ed at a whole new level.
Like, who knew? So that was a really rough start. And then I was kind of getting comfortable. And we moved to 32nd Street in Shea. So, ironically, there's a school across the street, so naturally. And thankfully, thank God.
Was that a good area at the time?
Yes. So, thank God we got that house, and we got to move into the better neighborhood. And I got my own room. I had my own room.
Yahtzee.
And you had your own room.
Oh, shit.
We were next to each other, and Desmond and Brandon shared a room.
Bitches.
At one point. But I think at one point, Grandma and Grandpa, Bernice and Jim, they lived in that back room. Me and you shared a room, and the boys shared a room. I mean, we had small stints where we had our own, our own rooms. But even when you had your own room, for some reason, you end up in my room anyway, so it just ended up that way. So we moved, and I got to go to that other school. Crazy enough, at that other school, there was brown people, Sage. Like brown people that looked like me.
Weird.
And then there was brown people that were like the kids I grew up with in L.A. I came home and was like, these are my people. I'm with my people. I can live here.
Yay!
So Mom thought that it'd be really awesome to take me up the street to the little beauty shop to get my hair done and my nails did for this new school I was going to go to. And the girl didn't listen, and I was getting a perm. Had to get my perm back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
That was, that's some gangster shit, your perm, So I had to, I was from LA. We got perms. So I got my spiral perm, but the girl didn't listen, and she cut my hair first. So I looked like the Mexican Annie.
I was going to say, Jerry Curl it is.
Ooh. It wasn't like I couldn't even use Soul Glow.
Fuck. Calm down, easy.
It wasn't a Soul Glow issue. I looked like the Mexican Annie.
Fuck.
I cried and cried. I went home.
From Chola to Jew.
I wasn't even a Chola back then.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
That was probably one of my first phases, the Mexican Annie.
Yeah. Wow.
And Mom kept apologizing, and I went home, and I must have washed my hair oh my gosh, so many times, just praying that by Monday it wouldn't be curly. By Monday it wouldn't be curly. And it was better by Monday, but by no means did it wash the perm out. So, is that really true?
I have no evidence.
Let's give you a perm.
Let's give me a perm?
Let's give you a perm.
Have you seen my fucking hair? Should I say lack thereof? God, I'm working on it, all right?
I'm sure a perm is like a hairdresser's nightmare. Like when they say, give me a perm, they're like, what the? No one does that anymore.
Yeah. Like a fucking permanent? Yeah?
Did you want me to set your hair too?
Yeah. How about a fucking wig?
When we were little and Grandma would go get her hair set at the beauty salon, that as a kid is like one of the wickedest things.
God.
And I didn't understand, so we're just going to come once a week, and then you wear the scarf the other days?
Right.
Huh.
Just this, okay. No worries,
You'd
Grandma.
sit under the big dryer?
I remember sitting there waiting for her fucking hair. Oh, God. So.
The big dryer.
The big dryer. The big bronze dryer, too. It wasn't like small. It wasn't like head fitting either. It was just.
You know that if you go to a beauty place, if you go to a hair place and they sit you under that, you should get up and go home.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems ancient and barbaric, archaic. What?
Barbaric.
To put you under like an ion blow dryer? I mean, I don't know. My girl uses some fancy blow dryer. I don't know.
I don't know shit.
Like the Roomba of
The Roomba of
I guess
hair
that
dryers.
would be a Flowbee, huh? That'd be more equivalent.
All right, crazy. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. Believe it or not, an hour's gone by.
Holy shit!
Would you do it again?
Oh yeah, I give you 5-star rating.
5-star rating. Whoop. Feel better about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I gave you a Google 5-star rating, have you done that?
Please
your business?
don't do it on Google. I don't know how or why, but I get calls from Google 7 times a
You
day.
just need to claim your business.
I don't understand what the phone calls want. I've tried to answer them, and if I try to answer them, they just hang up. And then they leave me voicemails if I don't.
Okay, don't talk to those people. You can do it yourself.
I can't talk to anybody.
I can do it for you. So I'm just letting you know that for some reason, apparently people value my opinion. Because Google is constantly like, they want me to leave a review, and I have 4,000 people who've, like.
We're gonna test it.
I'm a gold Google person, I guess.
Gold Google person.
5 stars for me versus me.
It'd be more important on Spotify and YouTube.
All right. We'll Spotify you. We'll YouTube you.
And now that we're gonna pull that little plug, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you watch, listen to your podcast material, you can find us. Video or listen, both on Spotify and YouTube, whichever one you want to do. Also, too, I wanted to say I appreciate your support. I know it's kind of a weird positioning, but she's wearing the shirt.
Hey, me versus me.
She's got her Me vs. Me merch. So she was one of the OG fans and one of the biggest supporters of everything that we've been trying to accomplish for the last year. Crazy to think about.
Heck yeah, you go for your dreams.
Yeah.
If it doesn't give you butterflies and you're not scared to death, then it's not worth doing.
This is my home now. I love doing this shit. So I appreciate that. Do you want to plug any of your websites, your socials, anything?
Hey, looking to buy a house, looking to sell, rent, buy, and whatever you want to do. If you just want to do anything in real estate, you just want have a conversation about it, call me. 623. Oh, no.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe not the number.
See, you're going to have to get on my website to find out.
There you go.
So you can go to stayinggreenrealty.com.
stayinggreenrealty.com. I'll make sure this is in the description for the ad, and you'll be able to reach her through me if you need, or you can reach her on her website directly.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
You're going to come back again.
Of course.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, you are a celebrity and you make other people celebrities. Look at you.
I love doing it.
We're going to have to get a red carpet and a whole situation.
It's gray, but it's a carpet.
It's not black or white, it's gray. I like it.
I have a lot of podcasts scheduled for tomorrow. Maybe even one more for tonight. We'll see.
Hey.
I already plugged all my socials. Any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to email me at meversusmeinfo@gmail.com. You know where else to reach me. We love you.